Lenny, have you ever heard of something called a Garden of Eden creation kit? A Garden of Eden creation kit? I heard that Vault City had one of those. That's the only one I've ever heard of, though. Well, my ancestor, the Vault Dweller, said that Vault 13 owes us one. I need to find it. He says, well, I didn't actually meet the Vault Dweller, but saw them once. You saw the Vault Dweller? Where? He says, it was a long time ago, in a place called the Necropolis. A lot of us ghouls lived there. One day, I saw someone running through the city. Running? Yes, running. You see, we ghouls can't run too much anymore, so I knew it was an outsider when I saw them. They ran by so close I could have touched them. I wish that I had joined the Vault Dweller. You wanted to join my grandsire? Lenny says, yes. I had the chance of a lifetime and I blew it. What do you mean? He says, well, later I heard the Vault Dweller had fixed our water system. The Vault Dweller saved us, all of us. Do you understand? It didn't matter that we were ghouls. For once, it didn't matter. We were people again. We're saving. My ancestor was the founder of our tribe. That memory is revered amongst my people. Lenny says, later I heard the Vault Dweller destroyed the source of the mutant army. The Vault Dwellers saved all of us, human and ghoul alike. I could have been a part of that, but I lacked the courage. I'd never forgiven myself. So because my party's full up right now, I can't actually invite Lenny. I'll say first that I'm sure that the work you do here amongst the ghouls has value and meaning. It was good to hear of my ancestor. Let me ask you something. I'm just looking around. Goodbye. Okay, I'm gonna boot somebody from the party for a second. I'm gonna tell Suluk to wait.
What you be needing?
Wait here.
We be here.
Okay. Let me talk to Lenny. You my ancestor? Here we go. I am following in my ancestor's footsteps. Would you like another chance? Will you join me? He says, I'm happier than a bull Brahmin and a pasture full of cows. I'd be honored to join you. I may be old and I can't move too darn fast. Leastways, not for too long. But I can sure patch you up when you need it. I'm glad that you can join me. I'm sure that your healing skills will come in handy. Well, now we have Lenny as a potential companion. I'm going to bring him out here. Just for, like, when I'm searching for companions, if I need to come out. What's going on in here? Just the FU going on in the bar. All right. Wait here till I come back. Okay. Because now we have somebody with a doctor's skill. I should have gotten Lenny and went back to Vault City to check on puking Charlie. But there is the Brahmin that I think Bessie in MODOK that I can go heal if I bring Lenny with me. And I think I will when we go back to repair the car.
What you be needing? What you be needing?
Yep. Let's go. Let's go, Suluk. All right. I don't know if there's anything else in here loot worthy. I always do this though. I always look through all the shelves in the manager's office. Goodness. Can't leave anything behind. Uh-huh. Because there's a big frickin' book of science. It says big book, but it's clearly books, plural. It says a set of books. It's a lie. Big book of science is many books. They changed that in the more modern Fallout games where it's just a book. Nah, it's a stack. It's a frickin' stack in the earlier games. Suluk, that's a one-person stall, man. He's following very closely. What if I need to relieve myself? We're just gonna stand next to each other the whole time? Suluk, you are following too close, bro. Too close. I know you want a high five. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why he's following so close. I set him to high-fiving range, and that's all he can think about. He's anticipating the next high five. Whereas Cassidy's just like, yeah, whatever. You tribals and your high fives, your secret handshakes. I just serve alcohol and shoot people. That's Cassidy's whole thing. You see somebody with skin badly burnt. See anything interesting out in the wastes? So something interesting with Cassidy. I might do a save. Oh, I don't have any actual like chems on me. Maybe if I use alcohol on him. Cassidy can just straight up die if you use chems on him because of his heart condition. Stim packs work fine, obviously, but if you give him like jet, or psycho or anything of that caliber, he will just die. I'll probably show that at some point later if I keep him in the team. He is a good companion. He's a very good combat-oriented companion, despite the heart condition, because he can just hang back and snipe everybody. Says you're not like other smooth skins. Oh, thanks. Thank you. I don't know if that's derogatory or not. I'll give it a pass though. You know, their neighbors are horrible bigots. So, you know, I think it's fine. So we're gonna go up here first, like before you try to tackle the whole was it the nuclear reactor segment. There's several things to do here in Gecko as well. Well, there's a medical journal. Very nice. Can I make companions read? No, it just makes me read it. Well, I'm gonna read them both. I hear they got twisters miles wide in the Midwest. It's a big old radioactive dust bowl now, says Cassidy. So I upped my science skill a tiny bit. I'm not a very scientific person. We're gonna have to raise that a bunch, by the way. There is the advantage of, I think, San Fran. You can just continuously buy big books of science there, I think. Which we may have to do. Because you need a science of like 80 or higher for the best brain when we get to the Sierra Army Depot, and I do want to do that. The goal the goal is all companions, all the useful ones anyway. I'm not gonna get a spouse from MODOK because that's a waste, and they'll die eventually. I'm probably getting like burst in the back by one of the other companions because they have no combat prowess whatsoever. This is the survival gear locker. What is this? Yellow passkey. He says, "Hello there, Percy Crump here. Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Cargo Genocide, or Cranky Grandpa, or Crispy Grape Juice." There's many intros I like to do for the Caedo's countdowns. Anyway, master merchant in this locality, but you can call me just plain old Percy. Yes, you can. Heck, everybody does. Now, what can I do you for? I was wondering if you had anything I could buy or trade for. He says, "Why, I sure do. Heck, I got all kinds of stuff here for the right price. I do." Man, they can put some really good inflections in the written dialogue. Like, you can tell this is a Southern accent just by like how things are spelled. I really appreciate that in old games. Older games, games that I played when I was 10ish, 13ish. Yeah. Let's see what you got, Percy. Uh-oh, Caedo's got to be biased. This is my buddy, Kite Moonwall, leaving a comment. If given the opportunity, would you join a Fallout-themed D&D homebrew? Well, I think I replied to something similar to this, asking about playing a Fallout-themed tabletop of some kind. And my overall answer was just like, when I'm playing, I don't feel like I have enough time to do anything else. Or I don't have the time. I don't want to dedicate that much time to a tabletop game. So even though we're playing D&D over on Jared's channel, it's not going to be for much longer. Like, I'm probably going to be done with it by the time this episode goes up, I think. Like, it's got a couple episodes left We're hitting the last bits of Lost Mines of Phandelver. And when it comes to Fallout, I just want to play Fallout. Like, just, you know, the games. So, yeah, I think that's my answer. Thank you, Kite. 3. Type it in with the 10 keypad, just like that. Boom. Done. Thanks, Percy. I appreciate it. Now we got to go over here to the workshop. I like how, like, this is a former nuclear reactor. Like, this is not the one that's active. So, no doubt, this one's just pumping out radiation. I'm pretty sure, like, if you walk in here, you just start taking huge doses of radiation. So, obviously, you shouldn't. Shouldn't go there. Go in here, talk to this man. He says, hello there, ever notice that each Brahmin has its own personality? Well, if you watch them as long as I have, you sure notice. Alright. What do you do here? Oh wait, no. That's really interesting. Who are you? He says, my real name's John, but everyone here just calls me Lumpy. Why Lumpy? He says, well, it's sort of a joke. You see, they usually call people like you and me smoothskins, but I was treated so poorly by other smoothskins down in Vault City that everyone here figured I'd just be more lumpy than they are. Why were you treated poorly in Vault City? He says, well, they said I wasn't human enough for them. I'm sort of radiation resistant. Perfect for here. But they didn't like it. Treated me like dirt. Really? He says, one day I just couldn't take it anymore. Figured that dying out in the wastes was better than living with those a-holes in Vault City. How'd you end up here then? He says, well, a caravan from Broken Hills found me and brought me here. I've been here ever since. One thing about the ghouls here is that they care more about what kind of person you are inside. It's like a big family. Interesting. Thanks for the story, Lumpy. Let me ask you something else. What's all the junk in the yard? He says, well, some of this junk is left over from when they were building the reactor before the war. The rest of this stuff, I just don't know. Skeeter collects all kinds of stuff. Who's Skeeter? He says, well, Skeeter's sort of a mechanic. He'll take apart almost anything that you bring him. Gets most of them back together, too, sooner or later. Sometimes things end up working better than they did before. Where can I find Skeeter? He says, well, he's right here. Just open your eyes and look around a bit. Sheesh. All right, thanks, Lumpy. Okay, so we have an example of what the children of Adam in Fallout 4 kind of had going on too, which is a high natural resistance to radiation, which is Lumpy's case as well. So maybe he was the basis of the children of Adam. He's kind of a forgettable character, to be honest. So like I forget about him every single time because he doesn't seem to have a quest attached or anything like that. Skeeter does, who we're about to talk to, but we're gonna like raid the other houses first, obviously, because you know they have stuff in them. I like stuff. Hey, wait a minute. Cheesy Poops. Y'all know what that's a reference to, right? I don't have to explain Cheesy Poops. Oh, and a deck of tragic cards. Oh man. Wooz is gonna get his butt kicked. I can play Tragic the Garnering here too, by the way. It just does like a dialogue thing. Cassie says, it's gonna be traveling again. Living in Vault City was giving me an ulcer. Alright. So this is Skeeter's shop right here. First, I'm gonna drop this on the floor. The super toolkit. An impressive tool set made of snap-off. Yeah, we already read that. Let's talk to... What are you... Cassie, you okay, bro? You were just walking across the wall. That was weird. That's fine. Okay. Hey, Skeeter. He says, hello there, I'm Skeeter. I sort of put things together here. Have you heard of something called a Garden of Eden creation kit? We're getting right into it. Skeeter says, you're looking for a Gek, huh? Well, I don't rightly know where you might find one of them there things. I know the Vault City probably used to have themselves one. Alright, well, let me ask you something else then. We already know about Vault City having used theirs. Do you have a battery that I could use to fix a car? Skeeter says, funny you should ask that. You see, cars use replaceable fuel cells or batteries for fuel. What usually broke down was the fuel cell controller. Most amateur mechanics just assume that it's the battery itself, but you know what an assuming things does, don't you? No, I don't. What do you mean? He says, well, assuming makes an ass out of you and me. Get it? That's still a good one, ain't it? Hehe. I haven't used that one for years. Well, thanks for the lesson. Now, do you have a fuel cell controller? He says, yep, sure do. Got it right here. Just waiting for a car to be put into. You got a car? I know where one is. What's it going to cost me to get that fuel cell controller? He says, well, money's nice, but I need something else right now. Something I can't get for myself. See, he's got a southern accent too. You can see it in the words here. Something I can't get for myself. Like they put the accent in the words. It's so great. What do you need, Skeeter? He says, these days, some tools is harder to get than other parts is. I need myself a brand new super toolkit. Snap something brand's best. A new toolkit. Where can I get that? He says, I reckon the best place to go and get... He says, I'm having a really hard time reading this in southern accent. I reckon the best place to go and get that would be down Vault City somewheres. They've got all kinds of tools, but they sure as heck wouldn't give them to a ghoul. No how. So you want me to bring a super toolkit and they'll give me the car part? He says, exactly. That's the deal. One super toolkit for one fuel cell controller. I think I'm going to walk around a bit and think about it. Goodbye. So then, oh wow, what's this on the floor? A super toolkit I dropped. Let's talk to him now. He says, hey there. You back with my repair kit? Snap off. They're the best. Ready to trade? It's a deal. Skeeter says, that's a mighty fine trade. You should be able to just plug that sucker in and get your car a-working. I'm going to go and try that right away. Goodbye. Cool. I delivered the repair kit to Skeeter, got 250 points of experience. Let's see what our karma's at. 274. We're over halfway to that 500 mark. Till we start getting AC bonuses and whatnot. You can tell I've been wandering around in my vault suit just because I can at this point. Like I don't need armor if I'm not fighting anything. And between Gecko and Vault City, you really don't. you don't really fight anything unless you are just hyper aggressive and want to punch everyone in the groin. Understandable for players who want to do that. I like how they just walked in as if I opened the door for them. My party is so rude to me. So they're staying way close now. But one of the cool things about Gecko is that there's actually a little secret passage back here. So I'm gonna first go in this building. I wonder if wearing the vault suit actually helps. The dogs aren't being aggressive at all. Cassidy says, Dad named me after some comic book character from before the war. Said he was a mean son of a biscuit too. Interesting, Cassidy. Very interesting. So back here, yep, there's a hole in the floor. Interesting. Go down here. Oh my goodness, what is this? What's all this then? So this is... this ends up being pretty silly. So you remember back in Klamath, we fought the Rat King? There's another creature who uses that model in here. But he's not aggressive. Unless I want to be aggressive towards... I don't think he's aggressive. I think he's neutral. Neutral-ish. We'll go with that. We'll go with neutral-ish. But all these guards seem to just like not care. His sleekness wishes to see you. Smooth skins may renew too. Unusually large mole rat. His name is the Brain. Guess who he's a reference to? You may have to dig a little bit. The Brain is musing to himself. So many things pass away. Times were not what they were. I feel that my sole remaining kin has died. Mad though he was, I wish it were not so. I had hoped that he might find some happiness even in his dotage. Well, enough of my sad musings. So he's referring directly to The Rat King. Oh, okay. I speak to him again. He says, I smell the distinctive aroma of cheesy poofs on you. You don't happen to have some to spare, do you? I just love cheesy poofs. Special thanks to my Wasteland legends, Sven and David Hoover, and thanks to the rest of my patrons on screen now. You can catch future episodes of this playthrough on Wednesdays and Fridays, noon and 10 a.m. Pacific. Thanks for watching. I'm Caedo Genesis, and may you wander the wasteland like you own it.